Here's a question that was sent to me. The individual is doing a room addition, and these are the additions and the shapes of the roofs, and they wanted to know how to fill this particular area in here. So here are a few ideas. Take a look at the room addition. We can see here that we have a roof, and I believe he had a hip roof and not a gable roof here. And but you'll see where all of this stuff here will work for a hip as well as a gable roof. The gable roof's just a little easier to draw. So the first idea that I would have would be to build a cricket around the entire area. And again, this would be if this design is acceptable. You can fill this area in here, blend this into the hip roof, and of course this is a gable. Like I said, if you have a hip roof, this should blend in here. If not, you can angle it a little bit, and no one might, I should say, some people might notice it. But here's the cricket, the sloped roof, that the water would kind of come off of this roof here and then drain out this way, come down the valley, come out here. Any water that comes down here, of course, would go out this way. So it would come out these two areas. This would be about the cheapest way to do this. I would imagine you're only dealing with these areas here. Next up on the list would be to kind of fill this area in like this. Just make a angle. This wouldn't be the same slope. If you have like a 4 and 12 pitch here, this might be a 3 and 12 or a 6 and 12, and you just got to kind of work with it. And of course, we'll take a full cricket in the back here. Another view of it there. So this would basically be taking this shape and drawing it from here, connecting it from here to here, without blending this in to the back, filling the area in as shown in the previous example. Another thing you could do would be to bring the roof over. This would all be fill, flatten the area out on the side, and take a look at it from the back, and it would take a full cricket in the back here. So you'd have a straight wall coming down here. Again, these are just some ideas, just throwing it out there. If you have some ideas, or you might you say, hey, wait a minute, this is the one I'd like you to see. If you could do something else with, feel free to take a picture of it with your computer and email it to me along with a few ideas, and I'll see if I can come up with something else. This one here, of course, would have a fill area that would blend in again with a roof. You would have a cricket here, and then this would simply come up and down. So this area up here would then blend in with this roof here, flat on each side, flat on the other side. And of course, here's basically the area where you would fill this in the back, and then use this kind of like this different fill area here, and then of course you'd fill the back end of this area also. So you would have a nice straight roof line here, and then a straight roof line here, and then hopefully you would have a nice straight plane, P-L-A-N-E, plane here, roof line. And then this thing here would look a little odd. This is probably the part that everybody would be like, what the heck is that thing there? Now, this is just throwing this out there, even though this isn't how it was designed. I would like to provide you with a few ideas for those of you who are going to be building something like this in the future and are looking for a few design ideas. Now, I'm making this video for someone who has already built the roof and needs a few ideas. For those of you who are in the planning stage, maybe this might work a little better, and that would be to blend the roofs in like as such, and then of course put a cricket in here, and then have all the water drain off here. Now this one here would be as if you had larger rooms. So if you had a 20-foot wall, 20-foot wide span here, and a 20-foot wide span with the same pitch roof, it's going to blend in at the top. But if you have a 20-foot span on this side and a 25-foot span on this side, then you're going to end up with an area like this. This roof will plane into here, and kind of just have a little angle here. So if the roof's going to be a little higher, wider, I should say, then it's going to be a little higher. If it's going to be a little smaller, the span, so instead of 20 foot, you had a 15-foot span, then it would bring the top of the ridge down to about here, let's say. So, of course, that wouldn't be a problem. I went ahead and entered in the addition as it was kind of drawn and sent to me. And this is what it's one type of software that I use. This is the type of roof that it created. So what we're looking at here is this would be the existing house with a hip roof. And you can imagine the hip roof, this side right here would be the same over here. So the ridge here would continue over, and then you would end up with a hip coming off of here, exactly like this. So if you just drew a straight line to here, this area right here is kind of what I was talking about in the other one, where the plane of the roof will go up because it's a little higher. This section here is wider than this section here. So it's going to raise the roof up. And it would create something like this. So we have a hip, ridge, valley, and then another hip, and then a valley. So I'm just kind of throwing this out there. If I was going to design something like this, this would be more something I would be looking for if this was possible. Here's what it would look like looking at it through an elevation view. Here's the addition and the offset right here with the two hips. If this didn't pop out like this would be just a straight line across here. The pop out here actually creates this section of the roof. Turn it around here. This is the existing hip, or not the existing hip, this would be the new hip roof. Remember that the existing house, the same hip style that is over here would be over here. So if we just drew a straight line with the ridge over to here, this would be the existing hip. And then from here, let's say down to about here, would be the existing roof on the other side. This would all be fill area in here. Now here's the plane or the area I was talking about where the roof goes straight up. If the building's a little wider on the addition, it's going to raise the ridge a little taller and create a section like this. If it's a little smaller, then it would drop down below the ridge and you wouldn't be able to see it from this side. So a little higher, you're going to be able to see something like this. And of course, this would all be fill area right here. Give you a better idea there. Valley, and that would be it. So anyway, that's it for this video. Hope it helps. And if it does, feel free to hit the old thumbs up button. And don't forget, you can send me your questions. Feel free to leave them in the comment area. Email them to me. And you have any problems with designs or something like this, I'm glad to help you out for free if I can. It works both ways. I get some ideas for videos, and you guys and gals get some free information, free design ideas you don't have to pay for. And that works out pretty good for both of us.